seriously doubt it. I feel like this is going to be... I mean, obviously 3D Max, they put themselves in this position by banning out Dust 2 and Inferno, so they must have been in some ways ready to play something that wasn't those two maps. But I am sort of wondering how this is all going to turn out. 3D Max on the CT side, though. We'll see if the Finnish hope here in the tournament, apart from Alu and Mouse Sports, is going to be able to put up a fight here against the North American team.
Already. We have the gather now. iBUYPOWER looking like they want to go for a ramp rush here, depending perhaps on what they find out in the yard. They've got a couple guys waiting around in the lobby as well. But the bomb's waiting at ramp, and there's only one guy holding solid, although Reflex can rotate in fairly quickly here to support Natu. But Natu's going to spot one guy go jumping past. That's still not confirmation for him. The whole bunch of people running at him, though, will be.
Yeah, that's just generally means something is up. They're not even going to slow down. They keep pushing, and actually Dazed is coming up from behind as well. So this is a pretty big deal. Dazed will eventually go down to Reflex. So the bomb is going to be planted here with the smoke, which is a pretty nice little detail as well. We'll see. Karan checking all over the place. 3D Max, they really want to make sure they check the whole outside area of the bomb site before they start pushing in, so they don't get flanked from anywhere.
They need to be clearing it up, but iBUYPOWER have got some pretty decent after-plan positions here. Skadoodle's going to drop, but Reflex right there with the CZ drop down on him. AZK and Skadoodle getting more and more, and Skadoodle from the back of the site. That crucial position plays out perfectly for him. He's able to dance around that silo and pick up 3 frags. And iBUYPOWER picking up the pistol round here on their T side is about as good as it gets for them on Nuke. This is the same level of like base of like a it's the same level of awesome. That's like what I'm trying to say, I guess. For iBUYPOWER is getting the pistol on overpass on your T side. Yeah. That is how important these rounds are going to be for iBUYPOWER. So getting a solid start is huge.
It does make a really big difference, and as a response, 3D Max actually do go for C-Set 75 armor, and except for Xart, who has nothing, and then a USPS. He's going to be buying an AWP later. That's a pretty clear indication already here from the Finnish team. But these C-Set 75s could be really good, especially look at this. You got 3 people in ramp room. Disturb does get flashed, could have pretty turned around for it, but it's Karan picking up the 1 kill. Disturb is just waiting for the timing, and it's going to mean everything to him. They've got Natu here as well. This is pretty good. iBUYPOWER should be worried.
He's making noise as well. They know he's there. Making those steps. Gunner not going to do it. Rather, that's Karan. The Skadoodle and Steel managing to find 2 frags. They bring it back to a 3-on-2. iBUYPOWER have suffered some pretty heavy losses here, however, as far as the HP is concerned. They've definitely taken a hit. But with 45 seconds left, this still leaves them some options. They don't exactly have to commit to the lower site quite yet until they get a little bit more information. If they can spot out Reflex or they can spot out Xart, it's going to be really good for them.
Reflex waiting down here. The call has been made. He's going to pick up the first kill. Goes for a headshot on Steel, but he just does a little bit of damage. Xart, can they hear it in the smoke here? There's going to be Xart taking down Steel, leaving ACK 1-on-2. This is a great comeback from 3D Max, and there's almost no time for ACK to play around with here. He can't go looking for kills, and he also has no health at all.
Oh, he gets spotted out as well, and look at that. Reflex so smart. Backs up, does not give him that shot. AZK is going to try and rush to the bomb. He has to go for the plant at that point, but 3D Max, man, they play that down perfectly. That 1v2 at the end, but also maintaining the advantage with the CZs. Reflex, though, got to say, he's definitely the big MVP of that round. Managing to get the drop on them once they push into lower, and then also just keeping the pressure up and playing it smart, staying alive.
And actually, I mean, I think actually 3D Max could have come out even further ahead than that when they were in the ramp room, because having that many people stacking up with C-Sets in a triple crossfire like that, definitely pretty impressive. P90 now on Karan, and we'll have to see if he can pull out some nice kills. No armor on iBUYPOWER, but they do have a bunch of P250s here.
Oh, man, and that's about as good as it gets with the Pro 90. Karan taking the fight at range, but this is going to be all about Skadoodle going to that lower site. They've called it out as well. Natu's going to try and get here in time to stop this plant, but it's going to be Reflex who's there at the doors just in the nick of time. That bonus money is not going in iBUYPOWER's pockets, and this is just Dazed now battling it out, not going to land the shot at the end. The Pro 90's wreaking havoc right now. 2 kills for each of those players. And enough potentially for a force, and yeah, iBUYPOWER, they're not going to waste any time. They go straight for the force buy here.
Very good stuff here currently for 3D Max. I'm enjoying it, and the fact that they pick up an AWP and Xart's not going to make it any less interesting.
No, it is not. All right, now let's see here. There's Xart. Oh, and running shot from Steel takes Xart out. He doesn't actually have anything to go off of.
Oh, grenade follow-up here. Not going to connect with anybody, and there's a lot of people out here from the terrorist side. ACK is going to pick up that 1 kill, so a two-man lead now for iBUYPOWER, and they're going to get a third one. Skadoodle just finding that kill on Natu was getting a little bit too curious on the up on the heaven area. So now Corona through Stub. What are they going to do? Not much they can do at this point.
That's a good question, isn't it? I mean, they kind of just have to stay alive. I bet they wish they had rifles to work with, but Swag finding Corona isn't going to help. Now iBUYPOWER, they have an idea, at least of where one guy is, and they're just going to go straight down to lower, shooting out the vents to make noise and perhaps make iBUYPOWER a little hesitant, you know, keep them honest. But this is 3D Max. They're really going to be looking for the flank here. Worst part is that Skadoodle's now got an AWP to work with as well, which is just dirty.
Oh, bomb dropped in that corner. Unfortunately, Karon kind of goes in alone, which is actually a big shame here. They could definitely have done so much if he stayed alive. Reload comes in, Steel's going to check, and he's going to get another. That's a triple kill here from Disturbed. Now Skadoodle's in a super awkward spot. He's no grenades. He has to try and fake this bomb plan to hope that Disturbed is going to peek quickly enough here. This is so weird.
Skadoodle's trying his best right now. Disturbed still playing from the vents. Disturbed, he's going to peek. Nope, tries to get him off of it, and Skadoodle, he stays true. He knows what has to happen, looks for the shot, and Skadoodle will clutch it for iBUYPOWER. The 1v1. Disturbed, it was just too much. He did his best there, getting 3 frags, but it just was not enough to take on Skadoodle, who played that 1v1 very well, but bravely as well from Skadoodle. I mean, he didn't come off that plant. He knew he just was going to stick it, and whether it worked or not, that was the path.
And man, that could have definitely worked out for 3D Max, but now, well, they're not going to eco. They are going to actually force it up again once again here, even though it isn't a lot. It might be enough. I mean, this has been a crazy beginning. This is not how Nuke normally plays out, not at all. Sart's going to pick up the first kill and disturb this up on the outside catwalk here, looking for anyone he can. It's going to be Dazed coming around the corner, and more spray lands in on Steel, who's got an AWP of his own.
Oh, and Steel's going to get dropped, man. Disturbed from the heavens. Takes him out. Swag trying to do his best over by Squeak, and Reflex going to shut him down. All down to AZK now, 1v5. This force buy is working perfectly for 3D Max, and they really got this going for themselves. He's boxed in here. Going to have to go to the roof and try and see if he can't land a silo jump. He's going to get it first try. Yes, he will. AZK, he's a boss like that. He's pro.
Yeah, but he's making a lot of noise, and Disturbed, who is actually waiting right next to the silo, is going to be able to take him out. Nice triple kill from Disturbed, and this is crazy. This is a really unusual pattern here to begin with, to begin Nuke with. Would have been much more normal to see iBUYPOWER winning pistol, winning the follow-up 2 rounds, and then for 3D Max to just have like a whole wall of blue. The fact that it's turned out this way means everyone's economy is looking just a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, real battle right now. It's so close between these teams. And how things are shaping up now essentially is just, I mean, 3D Max can just go back to standard set play. They don't have to take any risks. iBUYPOWER are the ones who are going to be looking right now. They're going to be hunting for a way into the site, and it's going to be Sart just trying to find a kill outside. He did pick up one already. There it is, the double spray down from Reflex. He's going to be able to pick up the next one as well. Yes, he will. No, yes, Reflex gets it with the help of Disturbed. But that is a very solid hold for 3D Max. Perfect hold, in fact, which means they're going to start developing a little bit of bank here. Now, I want to see iBUYPOWER actually eco again to give Skadoodle an AWP, but they're not going to do it.
Well, I don't know. iBUYPOWER really, they feel like, all right, the first couple of times well, the one time where we really forced the eco, it worked for us. So we forced the buy, so maybe it'll work once again. I'm not so sure. It feels like 3D Max are really trying to stabilize the game here.
Now that was some fancy footwork by Corona. It's not every day you can actually see air control like that.
Right now.
You gotta admire it, Anders. You know, when the opportunity is there, you gotta take a pause and admire it.
It's a little bit of, yeah. I mean, especially if you don't get stuck on that ladder, you can fly over that wall pretty quick.
Just whip around there. How is this going to go on? If you guys are hearing shouts right now, it's actually the 3D Max versus BMG game that's happening at the same time here for a spot in the grand finals, and 3D Max, the female team, are currently up versus BMG, so the girls, they're getting pretty hype. They always do. They always make the noise.
Natu waiting down here by ramp, and it feels like it's going to be a ramp push eventually. Flashbang into by some time. Natu also has a Molotov, so if they're a little bit slow, actually, they're going to end up wasting a lot of time here, iBUYPOWER. The Molotov to follow. Perfect timing from Natu. What are they going to do? They're wasting all their time. They still have to get into the B-bomb site. Disturb goes down, and now 2 is patiently waiting. He's getting some backup here. Xart's going to leg the first person, and now some follow-up grenades. They decide to fall back, but they drop that bomb. Now 2, he can't pick up the follow-up picker there. Oh, what? Xart! He picks up that kill. That's an incredible flick going into it. And now it's going to be Caron taking down ACK. It's a 2-on-2 with 12 seconds left, and 3D Max, they might just be winning this round. Skadoodle trying to see if he can get in here. 6 seconds left, and there's no time. He has to run away. That was a godlike shot from Xart.
That was sick. Yeah, that was disgusting. He lands 1 shot for a kill this round, but what a beauty it was. What a shot. Now, all of a sudden, that could fire up. That could be a round that really fires up 3D Max. That gets them rolling here. Because a play like that by Xart, that can really get everything just so hyped for your team. But they do manage to hold. I mean, it was a bit of a brawl. There's no getting around it. But iBUYPOWER at the end of it all, they just kind of ran out of time, and that forced their hand. That forced them into awkward positions that 3D Max were able to then capitalize on. 3D Max now, though, they can set up the firing squad. iBUYPOWER continue to spend money, though. This is what's incredible about this situation. They just continue to press.
One guy being let by here. Day's not going to be there for very long, and they're going to try and push in through CT main when Skadoodle actually goes down. Rest of the push happens over at the ramp room, where Naoto kind of gets overrun. Steel just jumping the fence and landing a shot right in his face.
I think this is going to be really tough for 3D Max to start adjusting to this. If iBUYPOWER are going to persist in just trying to be very fast-paced and aggressive, like ultra aggression, 3D Max, they might be used to a different style here. You know, the fact that they practice versus teams to try and play a bit of a slower pace on Nuke is going to make life a little bit difficult for him. Steel just taking a lot of damage, though. He was standing perfectly in the flames, in the fire.
Yeah, forced out like that. Pretty cool Molotov, actually. So you'll be throwing ACK, running out of bullets. Going to go down as well. That bomb is far ticked. Swag is going to pick up a good kill here. They're already at it with the defuse. Sart's down there in the smoke, and there's nothing ACK can do. Very nicely handled here. A good retake from 3D Max. All these rounds are so close. But, I mean, for the past 4 of them, the Finnish team has come out on top, and it's hard to ignore that.
No, it is. I mean, that's the thing. But now iBUYPOWER, I mean, sure, they're keeping up the pressure. And they will have to... I mean, the thing is basically, so long as iBUYPOWER can continue to get plants, or at least continue to deal frags to 3D Max, the plants are going to allow iBUYPOWER now to just buy and chain buy and chain buy and keep buying. So this is now where it starts to get pretty scary for 3D Max. You know, they've weathered the storm somewhat. They've got a little bit of a bank, but now iBUYPOWER can just keep the pressure up relentlessly.
Well, 3D Max decide it's time for them to take charge of the game here, and they're going to push aggressively through radio and through hot as well. Caron picking up that kill. Disturb starting off. This is definitely a nice way for actually to, instead of letting iBUYPOWER control the pace of the game, they just decide enough is enough. Now, what are the North American team going to do here?
I'm quite curious to see. I mean, they're still a man down, but Disturbed and Nato are fairly low as well for 3D Max. So this is... iBUYPOWER are definitely not out of this situation, especially since Skadoodle has that AWP. And Skadoodle is just so damn good with the peaks and the flicks. He's so quick, so he just needs to find a shot to lay it up, and they're definitely counting on him to provide the entry right now. Look at how iBUYPOWER have set up behind Skadoodle, making sure that they can kind of overlap with him to go off of any kind of frags that he can pick up.
Yeah, but how are they going to get it here? They don't have a lot of time. Disturbed. It's very likely to take at least 1 kill with him. Even on 5 health, this is such a strong position that if they try and get in here, they're probably going to be 2 people down before anything else really happens. Dazed hasn't got any kills yet, and he's going to go down this time around. Another kill coming in for Disturbed, and that leaves Swag alone, and nice movement. Disturbed finding a slightly new angle after each consecutive kill, so that every new iBUYPOWER member coming in was looking the wrong way all the time. That's very cool. I mean... the fact that Swag and Dazed have 1 and 0 kills right here is definitely not a good thing. So, yeah, 7 and 2, and moving right into the 10th round.
Yeah, that's sick footwork there from Disturbed, really just making sure that iBUYPOWER, you know, it costs them that extra fraction of a second every time they peek, because they have to adjust their aim, constantly. So a good play there. And now iBUYPOWER, they're going to be continuing to buy, despite not getting a plant that round. They're going to be having just enough to get the buy-in and continue to try and pressure 3D Max. But 3D Max now, they seem to be hitting their stride, really. Even in those sorts of situations, they're landing the shots when they need to. And right now, it's going to be Xart holding yard solo 1v4, because iBUYPOWER, they're all gathered out up in yard on silo looking, and he spotted out the first man.
He knows. He definitely knows. They could either fight him or they could smoke him off. And right now, they actually used their 1 smoke. So fight is going to be the thing. And Steel again, actually, just like earlier, lands that really good headshot. It's going to force 3D Max to make a couple of rotations here so they can actually defend this B bomb site. Now, there is a big thing here. Because they use that one smoke, it means if they want to go for B, they won't actually have a smoke to plant it. And Reflex, this is definitely some forward thinking. Just going into toxic area and waiting for them down there. If they try and put down the bomb, especially now without a smoke, it gets even worse. This could really backfire on them.
Exactly, and this allows 3D Max to focus on holding upper sight so that if iBUYPOWER come crashing in with 4 players, they're going to have the advantage. But there you go, Reflex peekaboo, opens the door, closes it again, but he stops that plan from happening, and 15 seconds are left on this clock. iBUYPOWER are running out of time. They have to try and get this plant fast.
And look at Reflex. He's toying with them at this point. He wants AZK to know, I'm in here, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. He comes out at the end as well and takes down AZK. Credit to Reflex for playing a really, really cool mind game here. Him and Disturb doing some good work. Karan also at 10 kills. And still, I mean, we're 10 rounds in, 11 rounds in now, and it's Dazed and Swag at 0 and 1 still.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And you know, when we got to cast iBUYPOWER earlier, Dazed was just wreaking havoc on Cash. He was manhandling people, and here now, all of a sudden, it's just not working for him at all. Swag either has not had any luck at all. So 3D Max, I mean, it's a combination really. It's just experience, and now that they've hit their stride, you can really tell that they're able to keep control. And I mean, with Papa Natu on it as well. You know, you got Papa Biceps, but also Natu, pretty much like the father of CS. He's on there with that experience.
Natu has 2 kits as well.
Yeah, he does. He's a total baller
very
too.
Very handsome kits.
Whenever big tournaments happen that he's not playing in,
pictures.
he sets up in the sauna. Then he sets up in the hot tub outside, brings his TV outside, and watches CS from the sauna, or from the hot tub. Yeah, Natu's badass.
Skadoodle goes down, starts the lot here. Orping, and actually Steel seems to have his number, so I mean, that's a nice way. If you can sort of guarantee that you get the opening kill on the CT side Orpa, you're doing something right, but then it seems to be the follow-up for iBUYPOWER that just doesn't work nearly as well. Reflex is down here, and he's, again, seeing it coming long before it happens. He's ready for it. Steel taking some damage, and he does get around the corner. Follow-up grenade. Steel's going to walk right into it, and he's down to 10 health. That was almost a landmine at that point. Reflex is coming back for a little bit more, and Steel is looking the wrong way. Good kill. Dazed next in line. Can he finally pick up a kill here? He's got the damage on Reflex, but they're again running completely out of time here. 20 seconds.
Exactly. Reflex finally gets hunted down by Swag. He gets picked out of the vents, and iBUYPOWER should be able to get lower and plant this bomb. Karan trying to take the fight, but he's going to change up the angle. Doesn't take out AZK. AZK lives with 2 frags to his name, and with 7 seconds left on the clock, they finally get the plant. So iBUYPOWER now in control of the situation after Reflex really just putting on a show.
Let's see. Dazed. This should be the angle. He does actually miss the shot as they jump down, or as Disturb jumps down, and Swag is going to be able to pick up the kill. So that is now, well, 8 and 3. And then it's time to remind everyone that iBUYPOWER are actually not that far away from having a round that could still be pretty decent here. Or half that could be pretty decent. If they get up to 4 or 5 rounds, they're still in the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And there's still not that massive monster bank on 3D Max. So iBUYPOWER, if they can keep it up, Natu's got some money sitting in the bank right now, but the rest of them fairly low. Still, no reason why 3D Max can't just lock it down again. Nice nade there. It's going to tag up Reflex, who's holding from main. But iBUYPOWER, once again, putting a man out in yard. They want Steel, who's had so much luck versus XR so far. They want Steel to see if he can actually do some more work here and create opportunity for iBUYPOWER.
I like this having Disturbed up here, especially because they've been... they've been focusing so much on Exant, so if they just forget for a run about Disturbed, it could work out in his favor. Steel is going to be doing just that as the headshot rains in on him and he goes down. And I'm pretty sure he was worried about where the Orpa was.
Exactly. Let's see. What do iBUYPOWER do now? Because they're starting to get to that midpoint of the half, 50 seconds. Clock is ticking down, and it looks like it's going to be a gather into ramp, but look at that. The timing for the Molotov to go down and block that off. These are precious seconds that iBUYPOWER are giving up right now, and we have to see if they're going to make it count. 3D Max, they absolutely have to land the shots once iBUYPOWER start to push for the lower site.
Yeah, I love this play, though. Natsu just falling back. He already wasted a lot of their time. Now he's down below, waiting a little bit longer with the USPS in hand. They do have the smoke to try and see him put the bomb down, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They smoke out the bomb site. Natsu will pick up a kill just with the pistol, and Skadoodle, he can't really do anything at this point. He's going to get the first one, but he's still against 4 members, and 10 seconds left. Kind of tells the whole story.
Yeah, and he's going to run right under heaven. This should be XR. XR getting caught on the ladder, and it's going to be the op duel! And Skadoodle lands it so sick. Okay. What's up, Skadoodle?
He disappears in a puff of smoke, literally.
Goddamn ninja.
Yeah, that was very nicely handled. I mean, he saves the open. That's kind of fun and good news, but it's still bad because we're nearing the end of the half here. iBUYPOWER needed to win. They need to win again 4 or 5 rounds here on this half.
Yeah, exactly. They're quickly running out of space. 3D Max are definitely going to have some confidence after that, although they only lived with 3 guys still. They're going to keep it up here. iBUYPOWER now going for a force buy. This has been like the theme of the half. Let's force up every round. And so Skadoodle holding onto that AWP, that's all the reason they need to go for a buy here and see what they can do. Smoke's out in yard this time around, though, so that's going to leave XR kind of hanging out in the open. Not really sure what's going to happen, and that could actually give opportunity to Skadoodle here, who's boosted up onto T-Red. Skadoodle could be the one finding the frag here if he can just get the right timing, and there you go. Does it. Easy as you please.
Yeah, Xad even trying to jump back around the corner, so very nicely handled here. Can they get a little bit more? They do need it. 3 rounds. Don't think it's going to be quite enough. They're really quick to get into the B bomb site this time again. Smokes are off. They're grenading the vents as well. They really want to make sure they can get this bomb plan. Seems like 3D Max are just hoping that they wouldn't just go straight forward. So actually, they have nobody in position to retake, and they do have some money. Reflex is going to pick up a kill and make it 4-4, and they are still going to go for it.
Is it such a solid position here from Steel? Right below, they're going to get the shot, and he's going to get spotted. There's still going to be Skadoodle alive on long. They're going to just flank them.
Wow.
I mean, they basically just picked them apart. This was surgical here from 3D Max.
Well, it might not be over yet here. Dazed is going to walk in, and he takes down Disturb. That defuse is still happening, and Dazed is going to clutch it. Those are the first 3 kills he gets in this whole game. And talk about impact kills, because we've been riding him a little bit, and rightfully so. If you play 13 rounds in a group stage like this where everything matters and you don't pick up a single kill, we have a right to point that out. But those were definitely high impact kills for Dazed. He just saved iBUYPOWER in this round, and that 4th round makes a world of difference here, especially because if they win this follow-up one, 3D Max is going to be ecoing, and all of a sudden iBUYPOWER have a great first half on their hands.
Exactly.
This is already acceptable.
Exactly. It goes to 9-6. If they can win this, then 3D Max are going to be forcing it up, buying whatever they can, CZs and armor, and iBUYPOWER could just railroad them. So iBUYPOWER now, they have to keep their cool, but this is a very advantageous position for them. Reflex already getting tagged down low as well. That's not going to help things here. 3D Max, they kind of gather up. They tightened up 3 guys on the A site. 1 guy holding from ramp, 1 holding towards yard. But they haven't spotted anybody from iBUYPOWER yet because everybody is waiting in lobby. Are they going to go for the press push? That's the question. They've got the flashes, Dazed with the smokes, and it's going to be the upper rush, Anders.
Yeah, they're going in for a squeak already, but a nice headshot here from Coron. They almost lined up for him, but this is working out so well for iBUYPOWER. They've made the entry. They're going to be able to get the bomb plant down here. It can't really do much. That smoke's doing a little bit more than it should, maybe. Natu coming in. He's reloading as he's peeking. That's not a good idea, and ACK is going to take him down. And now it's on Xat here. 1-on-2. He has to retake this. The smoke goes up, and Steel is going to finish it. And that's it. 5 rounds. Now 3D Max going to have a horrible last round here. If Dazed doesn't get that great 1-on-2, none of this happens.
Exactly. No. I mean, Dazed. Yeah, of all the times to come into it, he didn't even get a frag in the last round. It's just like he gets 3 frags. That's all he needs to do. Swag, same thing, right? So 3D Max now, as we can see, it's almost like a 2nd round buy in a first half, after a pistol or something. Double scout, CZs, armor, just a couple of nades. This is 3D Max really stretching their economy to its limits because iBUYPOWER have wrecked their economy at the perfect time, or at the worst time, depending on how you look at it. Depending on how you look at it, who you're rooting for.
This is definitely good news for the North American team. If they can finish, even if they finish 10-5, they'll be perfectly fine with that. If they finish 9-6, they are definitely going to be celebrating a little bit. This game had such a strange start as well with the way that they ended up switching round after round. It looked like iBUYPOWER were going to just keep rolling on, but then suddenly 3D Max really managed to string a whole bunch of rounds together. And then right at the end, it feels like somehow it's slipping out of their hands a little bit. Nice shot from Natu. That's a headshot with the scout. Reflex with the follow-up. Maybe they could still win this and make it 10-5. That would be great for them. Natu looking for more. It's a follow-up scout shot. He's finally going to go down and then disturb this there. And they may have just done it. 3D Max don't need much equipment. 10-5. That's actually a big victory for them.
That's a huge turnaround right there. 10-5 is totally adequate. Like that is just fine as far as a half score is concerned. So it's like iBUYPOWER save it off of Dazed, but then this round here, Natu steps up with the scout and just lands shot after shot.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, the reason why iBUYPOWER need more than 3 rounds is essentially just because you want to make sure you have a buffer for in the event you lose the pistol round in the second half. Right now, iBUYPOWER have a pretty big buffer. So this is, I mean, even if 3D Max win this pistol round in the second half, they are not guaranteed to win it. That's very important to keep an eye on here. Yeah, they're going to be favorite to win it, but they still need to do a lot more.
It won't last that long. Like that advantage will quickly evaporate if they allow iBUYPOWER to get on the board. So now it's going to be iBUYPOWER pistol side, Steel holding an upper, and the rest is kind of spread out. Nothing too crazy, although Steel is going to try and peek in and take a fight. He spots the man and misses every shot, so that's a bit of a wasted opportunity there for Steel. He could have definitely given his team the entry.
Yeah, now he's actually going to jump down, and that's a nice little move there. He's going to go try again, and this time he will come out on top. I think he was a little bit displeased, and he's actually going to make it all the way back. You're right, there was a big opportunity for Steel the first time around. It should have been a clean, easy headshot. And now, at least he does something to bring it back for his team. Skadoodle has the kit and a grenade up here. It's important to keep a track of where the one kit is here, because if 3D Max get the bomb down, they need to make sure that this kit isn't lost in the vent somewhere. Like Nuke is one of those maps where you can really lose one kit in an awkward spot, and then you end up losing the map because you can't just go and pick it up.
Exactly. They could. I mean, iBUYPOWER could definitely bottle it up, but they've got a crossfire set up for the lower side as well. Steel, great position for him to go to now that he's got such low HP. He's just going to be lying in wait, whereas his teammates, they're going to be setting up for that cross. But Disturbed is found Dazed, and they're actually going to check. They're going to check together as well. Really smart play here by 3D Max, and Steel can't get anything done.
Oh, good return on here from Skadoodle. It's still a 3-on-3, and now 3D Max are ready to play at iBUYPOWER's own game. It's being a double stack inside Toxic here. They should probably close those doors and just try and play as much around with them as they can.
It's going to happen.
Close the
They'll
doors.
take the fight, yeah. I mean, AZK, I mean, they're both so low. Of course, we know that.
Yeah, just
But
keep closing them. And that's going to be it. Swag goes down, and 3D Max. Oh, definitely some celebration going on. In fact, the Finns were so happy you even had them shouting, and that really rarely ever happens, to be honest.
Yep,
They're
they know
ice
it, man.
cold.
Usually not to, like, they don't, yeah, exactly. It's not a peep out of them. They just keep it cool by picking that up. They've also got Fox behind him. Is that his name? I can't remember his nick. But their manager, it's like their manager, friend, manager. Yeah, he's just awesome. Like, the whole team is super cool. And so them getting started like that, it's big hope. I mean, they're the Finnish hope of this tournament.
And they are. And as we said, they were off to a rocky start earlier today.
Now, 3D Max, I mean, that you can see slow pace from them. They don't want to be walking into any kind of crossfire. I'm kind of surprised that they decided to take it to ramp, just because that does put them at risk of this kind of crossfire that actually worked against iBUYPOWER earlier on in the first half. So I'm really surprised that 3D Max are deciding to go for a ramp rush, but they're going to do it. And now it comes down to whether they can actually land the shots. But there we go, right into the blender, and they just completely get annihilated.
Yeah, definitely not a cool idea at all. Now they're in a very bad spot. In fact, it's going to be a nearly flawless round here, as the only one to get a kill was Caron, and iBUYPOWER now celebrating in return. Yeah. Definitely very excited about that one. And this can spring them right back in the game. There's no doubt about it. It's possible that iBUYPOWER can just win 10 rounds in a row here. Yeah,
they can run away with it, because look, it's double eco territory here for 3D Max, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised that 3D Max don't even go for like a pistol armor or something like that. But what this tells me is Xart, they want him to get that AWP. So they're going to go for that round of eco. Xart not going to spend a dime. He's just going to save up, and he's going to get to that point where he can just get that sniper rifle and start going toe-to-toe with Skadoodle in the yard. Because Xart, he's definitely one of those guys who's a little shaky with the rifle. He is an AWP man, like through and through.
Dazed. Gotta be careful you don't get caught out here on the catwalk outside. It can be a little bit scary. Grenade all the way down. Does a little bit of damage to Natu. We'll see. Dazed taking a fight, and he's going to get shot in the face with the Glock. Long range. Deagle not going to do too much. And Caron is also gone here, so it's just Natu and Sart who are left.
Yeah, they're trying to get the wraparound as well, but Skadoodle is just laying waste. 3 kills for him, 2 for Swag. Swag realizing he's got a little catching up to do with his mates, right? You know, he needs to start getting some frags on the board. Lagging a little bit behind, but, you know, that is definitely a solid follow-up round there for iBUYPOWER. 3D Max, do they take that second round of Eco? Yes, they do. They're going to get it. I mean, it's going to be XArt with the AWP, and then the rest of them just fully equipped. This is, I mean, 3D Max, they realize they have a little bit of a buffer. They can afford to give away one more round. Like, this is a tough decision for teams to take, actually, because you're basically saying, okay, I'm willing to give the opponent an extra round to work with, but I'm going to take that risk by putting it all into basically having all of the gear I need to run perhaps a particular strat that I have in mind as well that always works in prac. Something like that.
Steel got the wall bang.
Yeah,
he
Steel
actually killed Karon right through. That is so good. Now Dazed will follow up with a shot. No wall bang this time, just a straight headshot. Reflex, though, is going to send him flying. And Steel wants a little bit more. He's got to be careful yet that somebody doesn't end up coming out, but he's having some really good, pretty good angles there.
He's got to be careful. Actually, like, it's so incredibly rare to actually see an AK guy run out of bullets. I think he's only got one more mag.
Yeah. But ultimately, it's going to work out just fine here for iBUYPOWER. So Reflex is the only one left. Looking to take another kill maybe before the round is over. He's got 11 health and he should really be going down. So there it is. It's the Max 7 on ECK to finish it. And now it comes down to 3D Max.
That's actually pretty... I mean, I'm wondering if iBUYPOWER didn't bait for AZK to let him get that kill with it, just so that he can get that bonus $900. That's the amount of money you get from kills with shotguns is actually pretty crazy. iBUYPOWER, you know, if you can prioritize a shotgun frag over anything else, it's definitely worth it. AWP, right? You get $100 per kill, like it's nothing. But this is going to be a big buy coming up here, and this is the crucial buy for 3D Max. They've saved up to this point so that they can have the gear to get something done here. And XArt is expecting a push up in yard, but nothing is there. It's only Skadoodle holding here for iBUYPOWER. He's going to get boosted up onto the box, though, and now he has maybe a bit of an advantage going into this. It looks like 3D Max, they want to coordinate together.
They wanted to. If they'd done a little bit earlier, maybe they would have spotted Skadoodle. Actually, he's coming back for seconds, and that could be really scary. If they go back now, yeah, I think XART's definitely in a pretty good position. Heavy yard play coming out right now for the terrorist side. They're definitely very, very interested in seeing if they can do this. Flashbang all the way over the building, and Steel is going to find a headshot undisturbed. That's definitely a good way to start off here if you're on the iBUYPOWER team. And where is Steel? He's actually all the way up. He's basically flanked them all the way through the lobby and radio, and that's got to be really confusing. Now, basically, they know on the 3D Max side that they've been discovered on the courtyard here. iBUYPOWER know everything.
They're vulnerable, and they know it. And now we're going to have to see. I mean, 30 seconds left. Skadoodle has no idea that there's a man waiting for him on the other side of the door. This is going to be a brutal opportunity here. Excuse me. This is going to be a brutal opportunity here. 3D Max, it has to be Karon. He has to find the right time to pick off Skadoodle here.
He goes for it, eventually lines the shot, but then his whole team dies. Steel and Dazed picking up some good kills in the middle of it, so kind of a slow round for 3D Max. Obviously attempting to see if they can get that courtyard control and actually play from there, and it didn't quite work out that way.
Yeah, and this is the danger zone now. iBUYPOWER have 9 rounds to their name. They've only got 2 rounds separating them from tying it up from 3D Max. 3D Max are going to eat another round of Eco to the teeth. Corona's going to be able to buy that AWP for XArt in the next round. So regardless of what happens here, 3D Max, they've pretty much got another buy round to keep iBUYPOWER at bay, and then iBUYPOWER is just going to potentially run away with this game.
I would say if we join this game right now without having seen anything else and just asked ourselves who has the lead at 11-9, you definitely say iBUYPOWER. No doubt about that. I mean, when you're on the CT side, you're fine being 11-9. So if they tie it up at 11-11, then that is really, really scary here. 3D Max needs to come up with something really cool. And in the spirit of Vendetta, kind of feel like, why not go for that A rush?
Is it time?
Yes, I feel like it's time. Though they have bought a lot of Molotovs. But actually, it's really, really good if you have an A rush, because then you can end up firebombing the heaven area right here. Make sure people don't get in. It isn't shaping up to be an A rush at all. The traditional way of doing that would be blowing up the squeak door and then rushing out here and through hut as well. Obviously, nothing like that going on. But I'm still intrigued by the amount of Molotovs here on the 3D Max team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they can use these to clear out quite a few positions. If anybody was holding close, I mean, usually when you have this many mollies, it's kind of tough to say because they kind of use them to just clear out angles. It's not like the particular site, but you can use it basically to take upper sight and bank it around. We'll see, though. Skadoodle is just having a field day, though. He does manage to pick up Reflex, who was playing around in the yard, and this is now going to be fresh smokes going down for iBUYPOWER. So with a minute left on this clock, 3D Max are no closer to getting onto a site. Here we go. Molly down, and this is going to be their big opportunity.
Swag waiting for it. He's going to come charging out of the vents. He gets the shot on Disturbed, who was just trying to hide inside the hut. ACK will come up with 2 great kills, and Steel will finish off the round, and that's the equalizer, 11-11, and looking very, very good for the North American team here. So pretty tough first half for them, as they really were gunning to make it 9-6. They were up against a force-up in the 15th round, and then 3D Max stole it to make it 10-5. But they're exacting their revenge right here. They have a very big lead currently going on. They have 11,000 on 2, 9 and 8. Only one really suffering here is Swag, who's actually started picking up kills in the second half. So the fact that Swag is interested in murdering people is definitely a good idea. Dazed in the corner, quick push into ramp room, and it doesn't work out nearly as well as it should. Especially not as ACK is going to pick up that kill. Reflex, the only one left. Quick rush and quick end to the rush as well here on 3D Max's side.
Yeah, 1v3, and Dazed picking up a double kill. Steel is going to catch Reflex trying to sneak back through the smoke. Steel definitely not interested in that, and this is now basically iBUYPOWER running away with this game for a long time now. They've had control, and Dazed is already picking up frags as well. He manages to get past Swag. But that crossfire setup really is just, you got to hit the flashes just right. You have to hit the smokes just right. And that time around, 3D Max kind of just went YOLOing in. And Dazed, the fact that Dazed gets 2 of them before they can even get their feet down is a pretty big deal. That kind of just neuters the whole push right there at the start.
This time they're out in the courtyard, right on the angle. Swag looking for some more kills. They do wall bang through, and eventually they're going to be able to take him down. So that's not half bad. Just returning the kill pretty quickly. Now they seem to want to see if they can actually wrap all the way around. Instead of going in through main, they're now underneath Skadoodle, but he's got a little bit of backup as well, so it's not all alone. ACK is here. iBUYPOWER, not so bad teamwork. Disturbed, very nearly loses his life to it, and ACK is just not going to give up. He keeps pushing, and now he's got help from Skadoodle. The teamwork is so good here for the iBUYPOWER team. They're really working together well, but finally they'll drop ACK, and it's back into a 3-on-3. As Daze is taking a fight, will take down Xat. Reflex and Corona left. They got the time, but they need to win this.
They don't have any options. They have to go through here and break iBUYPOWER, but iBUYPOWER have 3 guys alive. I'm a bit surprised Skadoodle didn't really double team with AZK there to really mop up 3D Max below hell, seeing as maybe some miscommunication there as far as where AZK was on the map, and Skadoodle didn't really seem like he was aware. So a bit of a missed opportunity there for iBUYPOWER, but still, they've got that man advantage. Only problem is that this man, Reflex here, has snuck his way out onto the lower site, and it's not really sure that iBUYPOWER even know this yet. These steps, Reflex needs to check everywhere, but the smoke goes down, and there you go, peekaboo, and Reflex actually kills off Corone. Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate. The timing for him to take that shot, and Corone being so low on HP.
Yes, mentally speaking, that's also a pretty big hit they just took. I mean, he's been playing so well, though. Him and Disturbed are really the 2 main driving engines here for 3D Max, yeah. But that's definitely painful. 13-11, iBUYPOWER just not giving up. I did give fair warning. I did say there is a chance that iBUYPOWER can just take 10 rounds in a row, and currently that's what they're gunning for.
That's what they're looking at right now, that's for sure. They're going to set up here as well. Corona's going to try and rush his way through. Steel just goes for the mad spray with the help of Swag, and AZK even through the smoke, pulling a bit of a flusha. Nice peekaboo moment there by Steel, and this is going to be Natu. Last man alive here, and it's not because he has the yellow logo. He's not a coward. He's not a yellow-bellied devil.
Yeah, in fact, he's charging in, and we'll get the one kill, very nearly the double.
This is now iBUYPOWER on the brink, and 3D Max having enough money to go for a double buy. Back-to-back buy here. Back-to-back buy situation for 3D Max. So it's now or never, basically. Back-to-back buy, basically. If they lose those 2 rounds, the game is over. So iBUYPOWER now, huge pressure on them to just close it out and not allow 3D Max to get any farther than this, because if it gets into tie situations, every round counts. And iBUYPOWER, they cannot allow themselves to suffer the same fate that Cloud9 did earlier on in the groups.
Seems like they do want to push pretty aggressively here. Grenade is actually going to be a little bit too long, and ACK, yeah, he's going to get caught off guard. So not at all bad. Skadoodle will get the follow-up and then escapes up the ladder. Just a little bit too quick for them to catch him. Swag all the way in the back, but then coming up from behind, actually, it's going to be Steel with a great triple kill. He backstabbed the whole team and makes it to match and map point. 15-11. iBUYPOWER starting the round with, 3 members on 16,000. Just so much money, it's almost ridiculous. And 3D Max, they just don't have a lot here. This has been Is it 9 rounds in a row currently? No, it's 10 actually.
Yeah.
So looking for an 11th.
That's it. Yeah, 11 rounds in a row. Talk about the shutout, but also iBUYPOWER just being this team that has so much experience on so many maps. It's really tough to get around them. If you go to Nuke, you know, you think, okay, this is a map that we hardly ever see. They still seem to just have it solidly planned out.
Standard smokes here is actually something we haven't seen so much. These smokes are designed so you can get into the secret area or volcano area, depending on which term you prefer. And Skadoodle, though, he can actually spot a couple of people if they try and go through. He gets the shot, doesn't really care. Looking for a little bit more. This time they're in the smoke, so you can't really see them. And that means they're going to run right into Dazed, who instantly goes down. So that's a nice opening here for 3D Max. They desperately need to force this overtime more.
But look at Swag. Look at Swag's position right now. 3D Max seem to have an idea that somebody's lurking around the corner. AZK has already rotated down lower as well to make sure that there's that dual defense going on. But Swag is going to be the first line here after Dazed. And 3D Max is going to peek together. Good coordination there between the two. They've spotted out Swag. AZK could potentially get the drop on them now, however. If they go rushing through that door, AZK, they have no idea that AZK is going to be holding from this position.
Swag really quickly upstairs again. Still one smoke left on 3D Max, so they can go for the B bomb site, but they've changed their minds, and that's exactly what Swag saw coming. He's in a great position for it, and it's going to be Karon going down. Swag, they line it up. He's going to pick up 3 kills. A great way to end it for Swag, who had such a bad start. He ends at 16 kills. Great comeback for him personally in the second half. iBUYPOWER only dropping the pistol round in that second half. That's a 12-round comeback for them.
That's like a 13 frags or something.